Welcome to today's episode. This is the Building Consultant, where we seek to educate, challenge, and inspire you on your journey of construction. My name is Sam Wanyoike, and I'm your host. So today we want to have a discussion on some of the key construction mistakes that can end up costing you money. One of the things that would cost you a lot of money is what we call poor planning. We understand that if you fail to plan, then you are planning to fail. This means there are people I have seen who wants to start building a house or a building or whatever development they want to come up with, yet they do not have the necessary requirements that will be needed to start building. For instance, I've heard of people who start building a house, yet they do not have a single drawing. What a disaster. One of the things that you need to do is you need to have the right documentation, you need to have the right direction in order to ensure that you are able to realize the end goal. You need to have the end in mind before you start from the beginning. You need to have the drawings. You also need to have an estimate or a rough, an overview of the expected cost that will be incurred. So you need to have rightful planning before you start your construction. Come up with a drawing. Get the drawing, be corresponding to what you have in mind or what you have at heart. Let the details correlate so that you do not find yourself making alterations once the building has begun. It would cost you a lot to be able to change, because sometimes you would see that if you start doing the development, you start doing a house or you start doing an apartment, and at some point you want to change a few areas. Some of them might even necessitate you to start from the foundation, and that of course means money. The other thing, as we mentioned, is getting the estimate of the money that will be required, the amount of money that will be required. This is usually captured in a document that we call the bill of quantities, a BOQ that is prepared by a quantity surveyor. And in the BOQ, you have the figures that are broken down that tells you that at every stage this is the amount of money that you will be spending, and of course this can vary depending on the market rates, and of course maybe sometimes changes that do happen that are expected to happen on the ground. They're captured in the variations. So this will help you in that you are able to plan your finances wisely. Then you will be able to manage your resources properly. I have also encountered people who want to start building. They do not know what is awaiting them, and at some point they find themselves they cannot be able to finish the building, and the building has to take a lot of time in order to complete. At this stage, you find that this person, once this person is coming back, he or she might need to do a few renovations to the existing building in order to continue. So please start by having a rightful plan before you proceed. Second thing that would cost you money if not taken care of is leaving your professionals behind. What do I mean? In a building, there are various professionals, there are various people who come in and help you to walk the journey of construction. One of the professionals is an architect. The second professional is an engineer. The two will provide the drawings that will be necessary for you to do the construction. The third person is the quantity surveyor that we had mentioned earlier on, who will help you provide a bill of quantities, and you would also require a skilled person to implement the project. That is either a contractor or even a very skilled foreman. These professionals are very important in construction. It's not enough for you to just get the services from these professionals only at the stage, up to the stage of approval. That is to mean you are only requiring the architect or the engineer just to get the drawings done, and that's it. No, you need to walk this journey with them, because they help you to ward off some of the unnecessary costs that would otherwise cost you highly than the cost of hiring these professionals. So please walk a journey with your professionals, walk with them hand by hand, and this will help you to minimize the cost of construction. The third part, or the third thing that you need to know that actually ends up costing you a lot of money is what we call use of substandard materials, use of poor quality materials. You want to cut short. You know, one person said that if you want to take a shortcut, ask yourself what is being cut short. So sometimes you find that people want to get poor substandard materials, say for example a substandard kind of cement or ballast or even sand or even wall stones and any other materials even that are used in the finishes, maybe bad paint or poor quality of tiles, poor quality of ceiling. This will render your building to the danger of incurring heavy costs in repairs and maintenance. Some of these materials can even cost you heavily because they might exhibit failures even during the construction process, and of course repairs will be very, very, very expensive. So get the rightful materials, and this will are best advised from the consultants that you have with you, and get things right, which will help you in the long run to cut the cost of the building. You understand, we said that a building is a very expensive affair, both during construction and even during the repair and maintenance. So please, guys, get the right materials. The fourth thing that is very important for you to know is foundation. I repeat again, foundation, foundation, foundation. Without a good solid foundation, then you cannot guarantee the stability of your house. We'll be talking of what is causing buildings to fall, and most of these buildings are failing due to improper foundation. Before you start doing your construction, you need to get a rightful assessment of your soil condition. This is usually captured in what we call a geotechnical report that is prepared earlier or in advance, even before the drawings have been prepared, so that the designer is able to know the existing soil condition, the existing conditions that are below the ground, and this will help a lot in determining how the building will take shape, how the building will be constructed. So there are people who have built, you've seen people who have built with areas that are in landmines or have big trenches, and this end up making the building to collapse or the soil to collapse, that ends up affecting the building. So please, before you start doing the building, get an assessment of your soil conditions and get the foundation done properly. That will help you in ensuring the stability of your house, and that will also result to saving from unnecessary repairs and maintenance. The fifth thing that is very important for you to understand is when you want to assume the role of being a contractor yourself. Of course, many developers would want to go that route, and some of them would talk of saving the money that would be used on the contractor. Then they become the contractor themselves. So you bring skilled fundis, you bring skilled people on the ground and some unskilled workers, that you are actually assuming the role of the contractor yourself. What is the danger in this? You need to understand that once you assume the role of being a contractor, then you have taken over the liabilities of a contractor. Sometimes you will find that the fundis would take advantage of you. They do not work to standard. The delivery is below what is expected. Sometimes you will incur unnecessary repairs at your own cost. When you have a rightful contractor, when you have a contractor in place, the contractor assumes responsibility. So whenever there are changes that have been required to be done, whenever there are corrections that have been highlighted to be done, either by the engineer or the architect, the contractor does those repairs or corrections at his own cost. So when you are the one being the contractor, then the cost squarely rests upon you. So guys, that is what we had for today, to discuss about what you need to know, the issues that would end up costing you money if they are not properly addressed. So thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly subscribe and click the like button, and let's tune in for more. In case of any question or comment, you can share your views on the comment section or reach us on the contacts that are on the screen. Thank you very much.